Good afternoon, everybody. Chris Wilson with Modified Independence here in Riverside with Heather Tritt from Geriatric Care Management. This is our first segment of 7 Minutes for Seniors. Thank you for joining us. I came out because you guys with the Twilight Wish Foundation of Northeast Florida were so gracious to provide a piece of equipment for a patient. And then last Thursday, we had the casino night at Grand Tamaya, which was an incredible night.
Thank you. It was really great.
It was so great. I had a great time pouring wine.
You were a big help.
For all of the seniors in the building, I was able to get all the seniors drunk in the building, pouring them wine and everything like that. So I just wanted to get down here. I have not interviewed anybody that does what you do.
Okay.
And kind of the purpose of this is to interview people that I would probably refer my patients to. That way they can see who you are and what you do.
Sure.
And put a face with everything. So let's start at the most basic question. Heather Tritt, who are you?
That's not basic at all. I guess an advocate. So I have children that I've had to advocate for. I have clients that I have to advocate for.
Do you have children of your own?
I do have two boys.
Two boys. Mm-hmm. How old are they?
16 and a half and 13 and a half.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So, and for family, I've advocated in that space. After graduate school, I worked for a small period of time as a social worker at Daniel.
Okay.
And so my caseload was foster care children. And I think the space of advocating for folks who are vulnerable and can't advocate for themselves.
And you told me earlier you're a medical social worker, right?
Well, I did medical social work under the home health umbrella.
Okay.
But my graduate degree is in rehabilitation counseling.
Okay.
So it's probably not. You probably couldn't do that now. But yeah, I know people have done it. I did it for a small period of time.
And you're from South Florida?
I am from South
How long
Florida.
have you lived here?
Oh gosh. I moved here. I believe it was 2002.
Okay.
So 22 years.
Wow.
It's a really long time.
So you got here a year after I got off the submarine and came down here from Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So can we talk about where we're located right now?
Of course.
Okay. So we are in a tremendous old historic home right here on Riverside, the corner of Riverside and Osceola.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're at 1674 Osceola Street. This is where you guys have your office, right?
It is, yeah.
And the company is called Geriatric Care Management.
Yes.
Right?
It is. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so do you live on this side of town? You live on the west side?
I do. It's really far from here. It's probably about a mile and a half.
Nice.
In Avondale.
Nice.
Yeah. So
nice. An old historic home?
Ish.
Older home?
Nothing like this.
Right.
I think people are going to watch it and be like, you're wrong. I think it's like, this is 1908, I believe.
Okay.
And I think our current house is like 1940.
Okay. All right. 1908.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
I know.
I look at my home and I'm like, there's no way my home's going to be around in 100 years, right?
I know.
It's got stucco and wood. It's just not going to hold together.
Yeah.
Right?
It's got good bones.
Is it 3 stories or just 2?
So it depends on who you ask. It's 2 stories, but the attic, you could actually, if you built it out, you could actually have a 3rd story up there. Yeah, it's standable. I don't know how many feet.
Yeah.
But it's not like the typical attic, like where you're like crouched down. Yeah, no, you can stand.
I'm literally looking at a kitchen. So we are in a house that is a business. There's a staircase behind us and everything like that. So I just love these old buildings. I was telling you, my wife had a studio 1 block down from you. In a similar building that was built by Henry Flagler for one of his wives, or his wife, or one of his daughters.
Probably one of his
I think
wives.
It was daughters. I don't know, whatever.
Okay.
However those things work, right?
Hopefully she got the good one.
Yeah. So I just remember carrying boxes of stuff and makeup kits and everything up and down those stairs. For years.
It's a lot. It's a lot. They're a lot of work, but I homeschool. Our youngest son is homeschooled out of here. So when I was looking for office space, knowing I needed more space, we had rented our house out for a few years, and I knew that I needed to have him close to me and have space for him to do what he needed to do. It kind of just made sense.
Do you own this house?
We do.
Okay.
And, with goals in mind of like, potentially doing like maybe an Alzheimer's support group or something like that. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, we'll have the space. Once we get to that place, which
Yeah.
I kind of hope soon, we'll have the space to do it.
That's
And
awesome.
I would love to do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So just briefly about geriatric care management, shortened to GCM,
Yep.
kind of like I did with mine,
Yep.
shortened to less letters. How long have you been in business?
So I took the guardianship course in it would have been the very end of 2018.
Okay.
And then I slowly started um, on my own in 2019. But prior to that, I worked with another guardian for probably 8 years. And then at that same time, and I think just up until about 5 or 6 years ago, and I still do help counties outside of our county. I was on the examining committee.
Okay.
And so when you go to get a guardian or petition the courts for a guardian, there's 3 folks that go out to determine capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And I was one of those folks for years.
We had one come when I was at Orange Park Rehab during COVID. We had a lady that had family that didn't want to take custody of her, and we had a guardian ad litem come out. Correct? Is that my?
So examining committee member would have done the assessment.
Okay.
And then, like, if she needed she needed a guardian. Is that right?
Oh yeah.
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 So the 3 folks would have come out to do the assessment to determine that she was incapacitated.
Yeah.
And then, yes, she would have been,
Is this
assigned a
fascinating?
guardian.
Like, you don't think about that. I mean, I don't think about that. I'm a therapist, and I never thought about like somebody not having family or not having the capacity and the family to look after them. Obviously, somebody has to be able to verify,
that they don't have capacity
exactly,
to make decisions.
and then be able to make decisions that are in their best interest. Because if they don't have anybody, kind of like that client
It's
we were
hard.
talking about before we turned the camera on.
Yeah.
So that makes sense, right? Where if you don't have anybody to really advocate for you, but you're in a situation where you're in a delicate situation. That's so. Let's do this.
Okay.
Go ahead and tell everybody address, phone number, email address, website, social media, everything. However you want people to get a hold of you, tell them right there, and we'll put it on the credits afterward.
Okay. So the address is 1674 Osceola Street. We're in, like you said, the corner of Riverside and Osceola. The website is it's accessible, but there's some work that has to be done to it. I didn't bring it down all the way, but I can maybe look it up and tell it to you. And then you can always email me. That's probably the best way to contact me. And then, or I'll give you the office number.
What's the email address?
It is HM as in Mary, TRITT. So it's my last name @gmail.com.
Okay.
And then I'm going to give you the office number. And obviously I should call it more because I don't.
We
but
never
it
call
is
ourselves, right?
No, we don't.
Yeah.
It's weird. I was so good with phone numbers too, and I'm not anymore. So our office is 904-846-2878.
Awesome. Well, that's been our first segment of 7 Minutes for Seniors, folks. All of her contact information is going to be coming up after this. And make sure you do you have social media?
I do. We have a Facebook page and we have a LinkedIn page.
Okay.
Both of them are geriatric care management, and I can give you links.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to put all those out there. Make sure you reach out to her. Yeah. Follow, subscribe, her stuff, and check back with us again tomorrow for our second segment. Y'all have a great day and take care.
Thanks.
Yep.